Grace and peace to you, and welcome to this Midweek Connection for the December 9th, 2020. Headed steamrolling on into Christmas. First, lots of announcements. This last weekend, I spent some wonderful time listening to Mary Helen and Connie play for a concert, and we have recorded it, and there's a link going out for that concert with the link for this Midweek Connection. So enjoy that music. It was a wonderful treat that they are providing for a gift to our church, and outreach from them. Lots of other things going on. This Sunday, we will have our recording of our virtual Christmas pageant. Now, children and youth of the church, 3 o'clock. I've actually emailed out the Zoom link, and I will send out again as well. So we're doing it via Zoom. Now, if you've ever wondered, like, oh, I wish my grandkids could be part of a Christmas pageant here at the church, here is the opportunity.
Or your friend, like if you are a young person and you want to invite a friend to participate, this is a great moment.
Right. So no matter where they're at. So if you have grandkids on the west side, they just need to, even if they don't find a costume like we have here at the church, something like they want to be a wise person, have them cut out a crown, put it on their head, we can have them be part of it. So this actually opens up some possibilities of people participating that we have not been able to do before. So it's actually kind of cool. So 3 o'clock on Sunday, we're recording that. I'm going to be sending out that Zoom link here today. So you'll see that soon. And then also many thanks to those who continue supporting financially the life of the church. A lot of folks have gotten in their estimate of giving cards for 2021 to help us with our budgeting process, but we found out this weekend some folks have had, because we haven't been meeting, they haven't brought them in. We were actually wanting those in November, but we had to shut down in-person worship. So talked with Ellen. If you just wanted to email Ellen Barton what you want to give for 2021, you can send an email to her with that amount. You don't have to get the card in. What we'll do is also email out her email address. I want to say it over the recording here. We'll get that out, or you can contact us and we'll get you her email address. She treats that email exactly like she does those pledges cards and your giving, so they aren't shared, and she'll take care of that for you. We're working on our plans for Christmas Eve right now, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock.
Very important, RSVP.
Yes, so we will get out a form for that, for you to RSVP with your family. We will have, masks will be required, and social distancing. Thinking about 25 to 30 people, depending on family sizes and things like that, per service. We'll have a fire. We'll have tea lights for you to hold up, a set of candles this year. Printed bulletins with the words to the songs, but we'll also email that out if you wanted to have it on your phone, so you don't have to be working with paper. RSVPing is probably the most important thing. We don't want a big rush of people showing up and then some crowding and issues coming up with that.
So we'll be sending that link out in the next couple of weeks. You will get that prior to Christmas Eve.
I'm going to say it's going to go out in the next couple of days.
Okay, it's going to go
Christmas
out in the next couple
Eve
of days.
is going to be here before we're ready.
Before we know it.
Before we know it, and before we're ready.
Well, that's kind of the story of Jesus's birth, right?
Right.
So that fits all right.
Yes. Laura, you can still register for Laura's book study on the person you mean to be. If you have any questions on that, please get a hold of Laura.
Contact me.
And then the last thing is session has set a congregational meeting for January 17th for election of officers, and hopefully also talking about the pastor's terms of call. We don't know what that meeting will look like yet, whether in person, a virtual meeting, or a hybrid meeting of in-person and virtual. Our denomination has allowed us to do virtual meetings, congregational meetings, and from what we understand from the state, that if our bylaws don't specifically say we can't have one, we can have one. So we are going to plan ahead, so stay tuned for details about how we will do that meeting on January 17th.
Okay, and I just want to share, a couple of you took me up on the invitation to share some sort of meaningful Christmas decoration or tradition in your home. Sandra Rochalt sent a photo of a beautiful nativity, and she shared a little bit of the story behind this. It is the last gift she received from her father, who died in 1974. And she writes, "He was a very generous person and never forgot me. He remarried after he and my mother separated and had 2 other children, and he would often send me little gifts throughout the year, jewelry, boxes of cookies, trinkets that he picked up in his travels." And she says in the picture there's also a large shepherd and a sheep that are part of the collection, and they were actually made by an EOU student years ago, she says. And I asked her a couple of follow-up questions on this story. She and her parents separated, and then she and her mother moved to Idaho away from Ohio. So her father was still in Ohio. And every 2 weeks, every summer she would spend 2 weeks with her father, flying by herself with an airline ticket on a string tied to her coat at age 8. And she said the airline people took very good care of me. So when her children were born, her dad paid for airline tickets for all of us. So her nativity is not just a beautiful nativity, but it is an image. It reminds her of the love her father had for her and continues to have from those heavenly places for her. So thank you for sharing that with us, Sandra. And here is a picture of that nativity for you to look at. And our second item that was shared with us is from the Cant family. JD and Audrey have taken on a tradition this past couple of years. It's called the Shepherd's Treasure, and it's sort of a Christ-centered version of a similar idea as the elf on the shelf, which has been really popular. But instead of the elf on the shelf, they have a little shepherd who's on a quest throughout Advent to find the treasure, which of course the treasure is baby Jesus. And they said that this has been a really delightful gift for them and their children to work through together. And so I wanted to show you a picture of the shepherd who looks like he's learning about the Bible in this particular picture. So take a look at this picture here. So thank you, JD and Audrey and Sandra, for sharing these glimpses into your family life traditions around this season. And the invitation is still extended for anyone who wants to send in some sort of picture of a decoration or something that has a story that's really significant beyond just the item itself. And we will happily share that with you. I know some of you, I was telling Donna about this and she said, I can't choose just one. So rather than having to choose your favorite or the most significant, just choose what's significant to you right now and send us a picture of it and a little blurb about why it's important. And that way we can connect you to each other this Christmas in your stories with each other. So that's all we have this week for our midweek connection. Be at peace, be well, know that you are loved, and go and serve our Lord.